Honorable Mutamo, they're calling for dialogue. They're saying that our country, is at a crossroad, like the Standard put it today, and they're saying that, there's no businesses, it's hard to get unga on the table. I mean, these are Kenyans who are facing serious issues, and they're asking, why don't, we have dialogue, between the two top leaders who are causing this stalemate, really?
Betty, it is very clear that one man, Raila Amolo Odinga, thrives in crisis. I want to say that on record. We are where we are today because of one man. He is the one who went to court. He was ordered to go and repeat the elections. He is the one who is saying that I do not want the elections. He is the one who is saying that I will not participate. He's not saying that he will not participate. He is saying there will be no election, contrarily to what the court orders. He is not telling Kenyans, if there will be no election, we will be held responsible for contempt of court. He's not telling Kenyans that. He's only telling his supporters, let us go out there, let us cause mayhem, let us not even sit and talk. He's not even advocating for any dialogue. He's advocating for violence. He's advocating for maandamano everywhere.
And
if he really loves this country, the only thing he could have done is to say, hold on. I, on my side, I said I do not want to go to election, and I want to give my reasons. Please respect that. If there's anybody else who wants to go for election, let them continue. We have institutions. I'll go back to the same court, and I say I withdrew, and because of A, B, C, D, these people conducted elections, and I seek directions. If it's a true Kenyans. But because he thrives in a crisis, that's why he's tossing each and every Kenyan to the position we are in.
Do you think Uhuru Kenyatta also, you've said that Raila Odinga has some responsibility with what's happening, but do you think also Uhuru Kenyatta maybe holds something?
He does because any country must work and must live with the laws and must follow the laws of the country. And what has been ordered is to go for the election, and the only best and sensible thing any candidate could do is to go back to the people and tell them, this is what the law says, I have come back, we've been ordered to come back to you, and here I am, please elect me. Simple as that. Not to tell people, no, we've been ordered to go for election, and because I have policemen and I'm the commander-in-chief, I'm going to call the army and everybody to swear me in. He did not do that. He said, with all the powers and with a lot of humility, I'm going back to people as ordered by the court. And this shows how law-abiding Kenyan one can be.
All right. Do you think maybe he holds another angle to my question, that he holds a responsibility of trying to bring this country together, because it is divided, really. And as much as he has quite a number of supporters, Raila Odinga also has quite a number of supporters. Do you think he holds any responsibility to calm down? And
yes, he does. And he can only do that by following the law. Okay? Unless we say the law is a trash, we trash the Constitution, we trash what has been ordered by court, then we say we are going to make our own laws.
All right.
And the only other option which can happen now is these good gentlemen who are seated in the parliament. These are the people who can block the amendment of the laws and say, instead of having these elections in 60 days, let us change these laws. And these guys, they persuade their colleagues, and they change the dates from the 60 days to 90 to 100 to 200, so that there can be a room of negotiation. But everybody now is busy trying to beat the deadline. You can see with your clock, it's only 60 days towards the election.
All right.
And nothing has come out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Nothing has come out. What you're saying is very true. Nothing has come out. You live under the matrix of believing that you bora uchaguzi, not uchaguzi bora. And what we are saying as NASA, this thing is not about Raila Odinga. You'll even be shocked. I'm not saying, and I don't want to be placed on record here. You'll even be shocked.
I
don't want any person to record in their mind, you take this on as gospel truth, that in the event probably of an official date, a good date for an election, you might even find that in our nominations in NASA, Raila Odinga is not the presidential candidate. So what I'm saying is this, that this thing is not about Raila Odinga. This thing is about clear and clean elections. This thing is not about blaming one man for everything. I mean, everything is being taught to hate for nothing. When somebody has been fighting for this thing that we're even talking about, it is Raila who actually fought for multi-party democracy that you're talking about. This freedom of expression, Raila amongst the rest, is the only surviving person who was among those people who fought for the democracy that we are enjoying in this country. And fighting for free and fair election is not about him. I choose to look at it in a different way.
But do you think that he also holds responsibility? Because there are quite a number of people who've lost their lives with the protest that he's... Do you think he holds any responsibility in offering direction to his supporters?
Let me tell you first that it's very unfortunate that people have lost their lives in the hands of those people who are supposed to protect them. Unfortunately, it's not Kenyans who are killing each other. It is the state. So the responsibility, the onus lies on the presidency. The onus lies on the executive. Let's look at it that way. That when people are being shot by police officers, how do you blame Raila Odinga? Picketing is provided and it's legal, under Article 37 of our Constitution. People are going to the street to demonstrate. It's not wrong. What an officer is supposed to do is to protect them. Now they've said, they are destroying property. What do you do? What law says that when you destroy property, you kill? This person is not armed with a machete. You arrest that person and place him before the court.
All right.
Seriously.
So that's another conversation altogether, Osoro. But I want to hear the thoughts of Charles Kipkulei. So NASA, of course, is hell-bent saying that there actually will not be any election next Thursday. And Jubilee is saying, actually, we will come out. President Uhuru Kenyatta actually said, I will wake up in the morning and go and cast my ballot. So what situation are we looking at unfolding next Thursday? Also considering that yesterday, NASA leader Raila Odinga came out and said that, there will be protests on the 26th of October, which really is election day. Are we looking at a serious crisis that is impeding?
A very serious crisis, Betty. And this one, I think, is a crisis and a tragedy that we are manufacturing ourselves. When the court ruled, they said that they ordered the IEBC to conduct a repeat election according to strict compliance to existing laws. So we had a baseline, a reference point of laws with which to conduct an election. Therefore, we cannot anticipate that the IEBC cannot conduct a fresh election yet on the basis that they do not have, that we need more reforms, yet you went to court and told the judges that they did not conduct the election based on the existing law. So what we needed to have is that go to the elections, and if there is any problem that you feel, and as the Chief Justice said, if they don't comply to the order, then we shall not hesitate to annul the election. So my first problem is that NASA contemplated and even just thought that the IEBC, they became judge and jury in their own case and decided that IEBC cannot even conduct a fresh election, which is bad. But on the point of Kenyans, first of all, there is something that is happening in our country. Kenyans are fatigued. Yes. Seriously fatigued. The economy is taking a dip, a very serious one. There is nothing happening in this country, and if we are not careful, we are going to bring our country to economic ruin on the platform of pursuing political power. Even colleagues of my age mates are not even getting married right now because of uncertainty. You don't know if you shall have the proper conducive environment, probably even to transport dowry and such things. So the issue is Kenyans out there are seriously fatigued. They want a closure to this so that we continue with our lives, because now this is like an hostage situation where we have leaders who do not want to submit to the rule of law when it is not favorable, because at the end of the day, an election involves numbers. If you're not willing to go out and seek the vote out there in Kenya, and you feel that you are at a disadvantage, and probably because of the bandwagon effect, you automatically become the underdog, then you decide to overall just sabotage the whole process and say that even to the extent of saying we shall have protest on the day of elections. We'd like to say that you are right. Of course, we have a right. You are leaders, and even I respect NASA leader Raila Odinga. Is a decorated leader. He has his credentials, and he has people behind him. That one is not in contest. The issue is that on the flip side also, there is an even bigger population of Kenyans who wish and who support the other side, and they wish that they need elections. And I'm honest, I want to say this, that if you do even an opinion poll on Kenyans and ask them, do you want elections? They'll tell you they want it because their lives are almost becoming at a standstill. So your right to swing your fist should end where my nose begins, so that you don't have absolute right and I don't have any. So what we need to have at this point in our country is leaders coming to submit to the rule of law, because we are a country guided by the rule of law. If you don't, all the elections on 26th of September, or October, sorry, or even before November 1st, the deadline of the 60 days, which the Constitution gave us, then we may not have elections in this country. And what shall we have done? We may have actually precipitated the collapse of our constitutional order. Then what's next? It shall be vanity.
All right, I'll come and hear the thoughts of my panel.